It's the first weekend of autumn, and the NFL is in full swing as off we go on EA Sports. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he'll get it up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25. Now it's the Boise State alum, Joe Ajayi. Only a couple there, so he'll be brought down about the 28.
Well, we saw him there trying to get it to the outside, trying to get to the perimeter, but not a whole lot of room there. But there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, creases tend to develop as the game moves on, and they can run it back inside later.
Faking the give. Now Watson. He's going to go for a big play downfield. And that's caught inside the 35. Watson to Hopkins for a huge hookup. 43 yards.
That's a big-time pitch and catch right there. And, partner, I remember the days when quarterbacks would try this. They were holding their breath. But nowadays, they're counting on their receiver to be just a little bit better than the defensive back when it's one-on-one and the ball's in the air like that.
So now then, the big play has him all the way inside the 30 now, 1st and 10. On first down, they'll run it on the draw play. Absolutely nobody fooled there. He's going nowhere fast as he's stopped behind the line of scrimmage. A tackle for loss there. 2 last week. He's tough to handle coming off the edge.
When you talk about a defensive end, your first thought is how does he rush the passer? That's where he makes his big plays getting into the backfield. But the best ones can play the run as well. And that's what we're seeing from him, that excellent combination of holding the point of attack and also getting upfield to make plays in the backfield.
Here's Watson, option left. And holding it may be the wrong decision as he's stopped in the backfield. They'll wind up losing 3. And now it's 3rd down.
I don't think there's any doubt that if it's me, I'd be really cautious about continuing to call this play because you got to know, defenders, if they get a free shot at the QB, they want to take it, and they want to take it big.
And they got it there on the option play for a loss. And finally, down he goes as they work it inside the 10 to the 7. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. The Texans with the first opportunity now from the red zone. They've got it 1st and goal at the 7. They'll run it now out of the gun. And that play going absolutely nowhere as he's belted before he could get out of the backfield. It'll wind up being a loss of 2. And that'll bring up a 2nd and goal. Here's Watson. From the gun, he'll throw. And that is caught. Touchdown, Texans. Seth DeValve, his first touchdown here of the new campaign. And the Texans take it all the way down the field and score on the opening drive. Point after, right down the middle. And that makes the score 7-0. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he'll get across the 20 before he's brought down at about the 23-yard line. Wilson and the Seahawks take over now, 1st and 10 at their own 23. Here's Rashad Penny, first carry for the former San Diego State Aztec. Takes this to the 27, give him 4 yards.
They'd love to just strike back with a touchdown right here, and if it's a long play, so be it. But the main goal, get a couple of first downs, run some plays, run some clock, allow their defense to get a chance to catch their breath, settle down, and relax a little bit after they just gave up a score.
Be ready for one word. Be ready for one word.
Now Wilson on second down. Caught, Kelsey, left side. And down he goes, but he takes it up to the 40. They give him 14 yards that time and a fresh set of downs.
19.
Now Wilson on first down. And the catch is made here by Tyler Lockett. And he'll go down right around the 47 this time. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch. Able to get 7 on that first down pass play. 2nd and 3.
Go. Gotta go. Well. Shotgun.
Out of the gun, here's Wilson. Pressure comes, and Wilson's going to go down. Zach Cunningham, he's the one that got to him. He takes him down for a loss of 9. Wilson of the Seahawks looking for something big following the sack. It's 3rd and long here.
Go. Gotta go.
From the gun, it's Wilson. And this is going to be incomplete.
And 3rd down is a key down in any game you play. And 3rd down defense, something we've got to watch in this one. Got to be effective on the passing downs. That's a pretty good first step right there.
On is the punt team now as this one's sent away. And great special teams work here. This is knocking on the door of the 5. They'll spot it at the 6-yard line. The Texans offense now, they get set to head back onto the field. They'll be looking to duplicate that first drive, the one that got them that 7-0 lead.
Of course they would. Look, they're on the road. So getting the 7-0 lead was huge for them, right? Imagine getting up 2 touchdowns on the road, taking the crowd out of the game. That'd be ideal.
Give them 3 on first down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7.
What's the old expression, 3 yards in a cloud of dust? In this case, it's dust-covered pellets. It's no longer that old grass that we used to play on, right, and chew it up. Now we've got that artificial surface. You see the pellets go up. Still a nice play by the defense.
Target.
Here's Ajayi. Ajayi, first down and more, as he's all the way up to the 24-yard line. 15 yards, the Texans pick up the first down. He was solid last week, over 100 yards in their victory on the ground. They want to get that going again.
Absolutely. What they also understand is that from week to week, it's not necessarily the same, but they want it to be, right? What they saw last week on the ground, they want to see in this game as well.
And they'll go with the ground attack here. And he'll wind up losing yardage here, back at the 21. They'll try the air now with Watson. And the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete.
The good signal callers would never go back in the huddle and play the blame game because they need those guys to protect him. But on that last one, his offensive line, they lost their leverage very quickly, and that's why they were able to get to him and hit him as he tried to throw the football and force an incompletion.
3rd and long, it's Watson. And he's got the completion to Hopkins. And they work this well upfield across the 45. They give him 27 yards on the third down conversion. 2 first downs have him up near midfield now on 1st and 10.
Reset.
They'll toss it to Ajayi. And he'll be brought down right at midfield after a gain of only a couple.
But we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
Now it's Ajayi. He lost 2 there, and it's 3rd down.
Well, that play was over before it even got started. Thanks for nothing, huh? How about that? That sets up a very difficult 3rd down call now.
Hey, black 22. Black 22.
Now Watson on 3rd down. And he finds a man on a crossing route. A very solid gain of 27. And a good quarterback facing zone coverage. If he has just a little bit of time to survey the scene, that's what's going to happen.
No doubt about it. If there's no pressure, he's going to continue to pick them apart because he'll have all that time to find someone open downfield. You can only cover for so long. So maybe they want to go to a zone blitz scheme, get a little bit more pressure. Remember when Carolina did that against Denver? They lost the game ultimately. They dropped the defensive end out, and he ended up with an interception in that game in Super Bowl 50. Maybe some sort of scheme like that to try and get more pressure at the passer.
Watson now to throw. That is caught at the 7. And they work this near the 5. He'll be stopped at the 6. Another big gainer that time. This one goes for 19 yards. 2 big plays in succession. Not sure this D knows what hit him, but now they got to get ready. It's 1st and goal. And on the ground they go with a running back. And this is going to result in losing yardage. They're driven back to the 8-yard line. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be 2nd down. To throw on 2nd is Watson. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up 3rd down.
Once you get into the red zone and the safeties have less ground to cover, you'd better be quick with your delivery. Not much space to get a ball in there.
Yeah, when that field shrinks with those safeties, it's almost like there's a couple extra defenders out there, right?
It certainly is. They end up taking up extra space just because there's not enough space for receivers to run through.
Now Watson on 3rd and goal. And got his man. It's caught. Touchdown, Houston. As his guys are in for 6. And the Texans will extend their lead.
That's almost just not right. You cover everybody, but those tight ends, they can be awfully reliable.
Very reliable. The defense just has to hate those guys.
Just drives them crazy because oftentimes you can't match up with them. They have you either with size, speed, or maybe even just strength.
Tyler Lockett now with a return. Solid return, pretty good field position. They'll start at the 32-yard line. And the Seahawks get ready to trot out on the field. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of the teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns early, probably not very deep into their script. I think that they'll stay with it. I don't think they'll abandon it just yet and try and generate some offense on this drive.
Anything. At least 3 points, get that 0 off the board. Now it's Wilson. Leaves it for Petty. So a nice job to break the 1 tackle, but not much daylight after that as he's brought down. It'll be a 2-yard gain, and that'll make it a 2nd down. Off the play fake. Here's Wilson. Over the middle, it's complete. And he'll get up near the 45. They'll spot it at the 44. His first catch, good for 9 and a first down. Throwing now, Wilson on first down. He's going to flip one out here to his running back. And he'll get it out a couple yards shy of midfield at the 48. Now before this second down play, we'll get whistles and a timeout. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this second quarter.
14, run it. 12. Hey. Tempo.
To throw again is Wilson. He almost had it. The big D lineman nearly had an interception. Instead, it falls down incomplete.
It's been my observation there's been a nice variety of play calling defensively. You and I often talk about an offense's ability to keep a defense off balance with what they're doing. I think the converse has been true in this game.
Yeah, I think you're right. They seem to have gone off tendency quite a bit, but only the second quarter. A lot of time to change things. On third down, Wilson. It's caught inside the 25. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. They chalk that one up as a gain of 34 on third down. And now the Texans are going to stop it as they signal for a timeout. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this second quarter. An inaugural trip to the red zone here for the Seahawks. They have a 1st and 10 at the 18.
Let's go, 14. Gotta go.
Wilson will throw again. Trying to get it to Beckham, and it's intercepted. Picked up by Dylan Cole, and he returns it here to his own 18-yard line. That's now a second interception in as many weeks from his linebacker position.
And think about all the different techniques he has to employ in a passing situation. Is he spot dropping because it's zone? Is he picking up man-to-man? Is he having to run with a running back or a tight end? In any event, great eyes, head on a swivel, and excellent hands.
Yeah, versatility and showing those hands. They'll begin the drive with a jive. And he'll take this one up to about the 23. And now the Seahawks are going to call another timeout. That's their second, so they'll have 1 remaining here in this second quarter. We'll be right back. Now a toss play. It's a jive. And not much there. Maybe a yard up to the 24. 2 minutes remain here in the first half. Back to CenturyLink Field after this. The Texans on third down. A perfect 4 for 4 thus far. This is 3rd and 4.
Flag 22.
Off of play action, it's Watson. On the move to his left. Completes it to Ajayi. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. Give him 30 yards there. So the line of scrimmage moves all the way across the 50 now as they come up 1st and 10.
Flag 22.
They run with Ajayi. And he showed off the athletic juke. Good little gain there. Not a whole lot of real estate, but a nice carry.
Well, no matter how they phrase it, staying on schedule, staying ahead of the sticks, whatever you want to call it, 7 yards on first down, that fits the bill.
Flag 22. Flag 22.
This is Ajayi. Trying to turn the corner, but they string him out and stop him at the line of scrimmage. And play is stopped here. Timeout. It's the defense calling the timeout here. And with halftime on the horizon, they'll be out of timeouts from here forward.
Green 39. Green 39. Tiger.
Watson on third down. Going down the middle, and it's complete. And they're going to be set up down around the 15-yard line. And now before this first down play, we're going to get a timeout here, as they'll stop it with just over a minute to go before halftime. If there was one area that the coach emphasized in our pregame meeting, it was red zone offense.
And the sense I got from it, and I think you did as well, they weren't real happy with how they were executing previously, so they put a lot of time and effort into it, because getting points is paramount. Doesn't matter what you do otherwise, don't leave the red zone without putting points on the board. The short field shrinks even more with the type of bodies they brought in on that play. Those extra tight ends, they weren't able to secure their blocks, and that one ended up going backwards.
Richmond. Two jet.
On second down, here's Watson. And the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete.
Anytime a defense can sit back in a zone like that, it tends to create a lot of congestion in the middle of the field. Makes it very hard to slot one in.
Looked like I-4 at rush hour in your hometown of Orlando, Florida. An absolute mess. The Texans on third down. Can't be any better than a perfect 6 for 6. This will be 3rd and 15. From the gun, here's Watson. And incomplete. Almost intercepted. The D lineman almost had it. Couldn't hang on.
You're down 2 touchdowns. You just know defensively you absolutely have to come up with a big play. That nearly was run right
immediately after the drop and just saw the dejection. They felt it. They thought he had it. Unfortunately, couldn't come up with it. So in the end, they had the ball for 10 plays, but the drive gets them 3, not 6.
Is it okay if I give credit to both sides on this one?
Absolutely.
All right, let's start defensively. They hung in there. 10-play drive, but they stiffened when they got close to the goal line, made them kick a field goal for the offense. 10-play drive. They might be a little disappointed they got a field goal, but they moved the ball down the field with dispatch and came away with points.
The Seattle now ready to march onto the field. And this is a unit that, to be frank, doesn't look like they've woken up yet. I mean, a punt and a turnover on their first 2 drives.
And I think the game's starting to take shape a little bit now, and I'm going to take it into the basketball world. When you're having trouble scoring or moving the ball in basketball, what do? Get it to their best player, right? Find a matchup, create it, exploit it, and try and move the football.
Run it.
Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw. Throwing for his running back, and he's got him complete. And down he'll go at the 25. Call it a 1-yard gain on the play, and that'll bring up second down. From the shotgun, Wilson. He's going to loft one deep left side here. And that's caught inside the 35. And all the way in, touchdown Seattle. In the final seconds of the first half. And the Seahawks get the quick strike touchdown. Santos able to tack on the extra point, and that'll cut the lead to 17-7. Santos out now. He'll kick it away. And no return on this one as the fair catch is signaled for and taken. Heading out is the Texans offense as they get set to take over here. And from this spot in the field with the clock where it's at, you think we're just going to see a knee and that's it?
And I think in this situation, that's the proper play. But we do know there's some risk takers out there that may want to take one more shot before the clock runs out.
Final 10 seconds of the half as they've got it 1st and 10. Watson on first down. Being chased out left. Now he'll turn and throw deep back to the other side of the field. And that one falls incomplete. Looked like he might have had position there, but he couldn't hold on and it's second down. Line of scrimmage, again the 25, 2nd and 10.
Blue 80. Blue 80. Tiger.
The final shot before the break. Watson. And he's going to go down. Couldn't get a throw off with the pressure. Maybe that was for the best, as that brings us to the end of this first half of play. So we have reached halftime here. It's the visitors, the Texans, out in front. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And a good return. He's across the 35-yard line, right around the 36. Here come the Seahawks now, set to take over on offense. They're down in this game. A chance for the offense, though, to put something on the board, get some momentum here in half two.
Try and get things kick-started for them. And you know at the half, they discussed how they were going to get that done. This is where scripting comes into play a lot of the time.
How many plays do you script coming out of the second half?
Most of the time in the first half, you're scripting 12 to 16. I think in the second half, you're really scripting more like 8 to 10. Kind of a starter or an opener, whatever terminology they use. Just something to get you off to a quick start.
And to the 42-yard line here and brought down there. It'll be a gain of 6, and it'll be a 2nd down.
Tempo. Got it.
Operating from the gun. Wilson finding his safety valve here. That's complete. And he'll get up near the 45. They'll spot it at the 44. They'll get a couple yards on that one, and they're going to have a 3rd down.
Check 50. Got it. There. I'm coming after you. 18. Hey.
From the gun, Wilson. He finds Beckham complete. He had the touchdown earlier. This one's going to get him a 1st down.
And Brandon, from our time in college football, where receivers weren't running the traditional NFL route tree, one thing they did learn, find open areas, find soft spots, and set up and catch the ball. And I think we just saw that there.
Yeah, we saw that indeed, picking up the 1st.
Gotta go. 18. Right, easy. Check 51.
On 1st and 10, it's Wilson. And he finds Penny. And he goes down, but not before getting this inside the 25. 23 yards on the play.
Everyone's got to be able to catch the football. Doesn't matter what position you play, but if you're on offense, be aware a ball may come your way.
Penny, a 1st down carry, and able to get about 3 as he's taken down right at the 20.
Well, they still have time to get him established, but in my estimation, they've got to pick up the urgency here. They've got to get quickly in and out of the huddle and run off a bunch more plays.
On 2nd down, Wilson forced out to his left. And it's caught. And he will score. Touchdown, Seattle. Rashad Penny, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Seahawks have made this a 1-score game. Santos with the extra point. And the lead's down to a field goal at 17-14. Santos out now. He'll kick it away. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And he'll get it up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. So here's the Texans offense now. They get set to start this 3rd quarter. Watson will bring up the Texans here, 1st and 10 at their own 22. Here's a handoff to Ajay to begin the drive. And he'll be taken down here at about the 23-yard line. Just a yard on the 1st down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Here's Watson now on 2nd down. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And out across midfield down to the 45. A gain of 32 that time.
There will always be a place for methodically marching the ball downfield, but when you can pick it up in big chunks and strike like that, have explosive plays, that's often the difference in winning and losing. Those types of plays that can knock a defense off balance, that'll drive the team towards a victory.
That's going to go as a loss of a full 8 yards. It sets them back for second down. Watson to throw on second down. He's going to wind up and air it out. And he's unable to grab it. Thought he might have had position, couldn't hold on, third down.
I remember a coach telling me a long time ago the difference between playing corner and safety in the NFL. Corner is like the Autobahn. Everybody just flying by, and these corners have been really busy in this game, although they got it done on the last play.
On the last play, yes, but there have been some good numbers put up against them offensively. The Texans on third down. They've been excellent, 6 for 7. This will be a tough 3rd and 18. And now the Seahawks are going to take a timeout here on defense. It's just their first, so 2 remaining as they burn one here in this third quarter. The Texans on third down. They've been excellent, 6 for 7. This will be a tough 3rd and 18. A shotgun snap for Watson. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
I remember when I was a kid and all I wanted was a nickel so I could get that soda down at the fountain. And guess what? The nickel came into play well. 5 defensive backs, they covered well, allowed for the sacks.
Sodas were a nickel when you were a kid?
No, I just needed the extra nickel so I could pay the proper price.
Okay, how much were they? A dime? What were they?
15 cents.
Now, meanwhile, they go for it on 4th down, and my goodness, incomplete. The Seahawks offense now, they get ready to head back onto the field. And that last drive, a long drive, but not just that, they had a great air attack going. Do they stick with that?
I would think that they would, because if they were confident enough to do it on the last drive, starting backed up in their own territory, why would you change anything? They've got to be confident about what they're presenting and continue to do so.
Yeah, because the secondary, they really look clueless.
And that was amazing because that drive went and went, no adjustments and no big plays.
And he can't get rid of it. He's taken down. And no matter what the situation, the O-line just hates that because they feel like they didn't protect little brother back there, right?
Man, that's just so difficult for them because just think about every single play. When you decide to throw the football, you're dealing with some of the best athletes on the planet. You talk about guys, if they weren't playing football, they'd be starring in the NBA at power forward. It's a really difficult task.
On second down, here's Penny. He takes it down to the 42, a 5-yard run.
Well, they're hoping that the second half is better for him than the first half. They've got to find a way to get him going. He's a big part of their offense.
3rd and long, it's Wilson. And that one goes incomplete on the drop. That's one he definitely normally catches. 4th down.
I wonder, Brandon, I just wonder, you think maybe he was worried about where he was on the field? Was he far enough? Was he close enough to the first down sticks?
Absolutely. He was right there by him, and I think he was thinking first down before he caught that football.
Yeah, got to catch it first, because if you don't catch it, there's no chance of picking up a first down.
They're going on 4th down. It's Wilson, and he's going to be sacked. They sack him back right at the midfield stripe. Pete Carroll rolled the dice, but it didn't work out. And this defense will take over right at midfield. Watson will bring up the Texans here, 1st and 10, right at the 50-yard line. And they'll try the ground game here with the running back. And that one blown up quickly as he's going to be stopped before he could even get started. It'll be a loss of a yard, and that'll bring up a 2nd and 11. After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11.
Reset.
They stay on the ground. Again, it's Ajayi. Takes to midfield, but no further. Just a yard there.
Tough day. Tough sledding right there, and it's been that way the entire game. Not a whole lot of room to ramble for him.
Yeah, you're right. It's been that way all afternoon. Didn't get a whole lot better there. Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here.
Reset. Target.
And the blitz does come. He's got his man on the crossing route. An excellent pickup of 34 yards.
I know I spent a lot of time talking about how tight ends in a lot of cases now are pumped up wide receivers, but they're still big people. He used that frame right there to absorb a really big hit on him and held on to the ball.
Black, no, feel it.
And they'll go ground game here with a tailback. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up 2nd down.
I think it's pretty evident we can say what a difference a week makes. Last week, he ran pretty much wild, didn't he? Did pretty much what he wanted to do. But this one, they stopped him cold. That, to me, that's good scouting and even better execution.
Yeah, and they stopped him behind the line right there. They obviously watched the tape.
Richmond. Come back. Do jet.
Watson now looking to throw on 2nd down. He's got his tight end on the corner route. It's complete. And he's brought down. Texans passing game in rhythm right now, picking up another first. Tell you what, he's been able to put the ball in some tight spots all game long. That throw, no different.
Yeah, a lot of people would call it a gutsy type of a throw. I think he looks at it as, I can do it, so it's not that big of a deal to me, and I'm going to keep firing.
Hey, blue lady.
They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And this has been a familiar sight all afternoon as they stop him behind the line. That'll go as a loss of 5, and it'll be 2nd and goal.
Black, no, feel it. Hey, Black 22.
He's going to get it running right. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. 5 yards on the pickup, and that is going to set up 3rd and goal. They come out here in the eye. Now they'll run it on the toss. And he gets into the end zone. Touchdown, Houston. Jay Ajayi, his 5th touchdown now on the year. And the Texans will add on to their lead. And this one through the uprights and good. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. Fielded about a yard deep. And he'll bring it a few past the 20 to the 23-yard line. The Seattle offense now set to come back out on the field. And last time out, went for it on 4th down, turned it over, gave him great field position, turned into 6 points, so they've got to recover here, Charles.
It's amazing what one decision can do in the chain of events, right? The decision to go for it on 4th down.
Caused all of that.
It caused every bit of it, but it showed confidence. Hey, I've got confidence in you guys. Go pick it up for them. Didn't happen. also showed confidence in the defense. They didn't pick up their end of the bargain, so now they've got to come back out and start over and rebuild that confidence.
On first down, Wilson. He's going to rifle one deep left side, and it drops down incomplete. Thought he might have had it. Instead, second down.
This defense was definitely alert to the possibility of the deep ball, and they were more than ready for it.
They've got the lead, fourth quarter. Maybe can expect more passes like that downfield. Again on 2nd and 10, it's Wilson. Under pressure, and the Texans able to get in there for the sack.
Remember, throughout my career here in defensive coaches always say, guys, you've got to earn the right to rush the passer. Well, they put themselves in a great spot with this big lead, and they know they've got to throw the ball.
These pass rushers have to be salivating. It is pin your ears back to, and he's going to be taken down, sacked back at the 2.
Brandon, I think you understand the type of afternoon this offensive line is having. It is a long one for them. Long for you to spend it with me. Long for them trying to block those guys. They've given up a whole lot of sacks, and the speed and quickness of that defensive line is eating them alive.
Now here's Michael Dixon as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. And he's able to get it out of there, and this is a pretty good kick. That's taken on the 25. Well, he wasn't too far from breaking that. Officially, give him 15. And the Texans will take over with a 1st and 10. Now the Texans offense, they head back out to do battle here. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline. Because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
On the tackle that time, Bruce Irvin. Offensively with the lead, you want to run the ball, keep the clock going, but you also want to still kind of be in attack mode too, right? So how do you do that and not come back on your heels?
Yeah, think about all the practices we've watched where they have that tempo period to go over things just like this, where they describe the scenario, tell you what they're looking for, and make sure that they're still attacking, yet at the same time not going so fast as to leave too much time on the clock.
They run again with a giant. And the reinforcements come in as they're going to stop him behind the line. And now the Seahawks are going to call another timeout. That's going to be their second. They'll be left with one more plus the 2-minute warning, and we'll be back. Throwing on 3rd down, Watson. Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. And now we're going to get a timeout here called by the defense. So that will leave them with no timeouts left. Still plenty of time on the clock. We'll see how that affects things here in this 4th quarter. Now it's Lockett. 21 yards. Well done on the return. And it'll be Seahawk football, 1st and 10. And out now come the Seahawks. And down on the scoreboard, certainly needing to avoid what happened on the last drive, punting the football.
Sense of urgency has to take over for them here. They know the score. They know the situation. And by the way, the punter no longer exists for their offense. That's how they have to treat this drive.
They need points.
Big time. Well, partner, I know this type of running back. I mean, this size, this intensity usually gets better as the game goes on. I can just tell you from experience, the first few quarters, oh, you're eager. You come running up there. I'm going to tackle this guy. By the 4th quarter, you're coming up and thinking about it.
And D-line wearing down 4th quarter. Yeah, that's not a guy they want to see consistently. From midfield now, here's Wilson. And he's taken to the ground, but he was pulled down by the face mask. Here come the flags, and I believe this is going to be a 1st down. Well, when you're leading in the 4th quarter, that's not the penalty you want.
Not at all, and now your discipline comes into question. Having poise this stage of the game, you can't have those kind of plays.
Hey, over here. Gun.
Now contact up front as penalty markers come in. Who is this against? So a jump there defensively.
It's a killer. Watch the football. Don't move across the line of scrimmage until the ball moves.
They will come up on a 1st and 5 following the encroachment penalty.
Gotta go. Beamer.
Out of the gun, here's Wilson. And he's going to go down. The Texans come at him and able to bring him to the ground. Time for a break. We're back to finish this one off after this. Work to be done here on 2nd and 16 after the sack. Throwing now is Wilson. He's going to let it fly. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up 3rd down.
Well, that certainly looked like something that they discussed all week in practice getting ready for this one. Take the big shot right out of the gate. At worst, you'll open up the defense a little bit, loosen them up, have them back on their heels.
And the Seahawks on 3rd down, 2 for 5 to this point. This is 3rd and 16.
We got three, fellas. Shotgun.
Here's Wilson. Sliding out of the pocket. He's going to run, but he's got a long way to go. Only able to get back a yard for his efforts, and that leads us to 4th down. Clock running, and the Seahawks, they're running too, trying to speed up to the line of scrimmage.
Zebra. Be alert. Well.
Here we go. It's Wilson on 4th down. And that is incomplete. They had to go for it with such little time remaining. And this Texans defense stands tall. So with that, we can just about close the book on this one, Charles.
Yeah, what's the old expression about slim and none? Well, Slim just left town on that
They're
one.
down to none?
Yes, exactly right.
They'll start out on the ground with a Johnny. And this has been a familiar sight all afternoon as they stop him behind the line. That'll be a loss of 4 yards on the play. And it'll bring up a 2nd and 14. So the first play of the drive lost 4. Now they'll look to move it forward here on 2nd and 14.
Richmond.
And they'll run it here. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. Call it a loss of 2 on the play. And they're going to be staring at a 3rd and long here. So time to start going in the other direction as they come up now 3rd and long.
Down. Green the line. Richmond. 2 jet.
And they're going to take it all the way down and just take the delay. That's going to set them back 5 yards. After the delay, they're backed up even further for 3rd and long.
Richmond. Green the line.
Watson now to throw. He sets to fire deep. Trying to force it to Hopkins, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Tony Jefferson. And his crew will take over with a football at the 35-yard line. Keep in mind, he had the 3-interception game last week, so we requested to talk with him this week. He was all smiles. He's still all smile.
Yeah, we didn't jinx him at all, did we?
No.
Because ordinarily that happens. Things fall off, but not in this case. I think a lot of it goes back to his technique. His ability to see the quarterback throw the ball while understanding where the receiver is running his route allows him to make a lot of plays on the football, and he's taking it away at a really high rate.
A really nice gain of 25 yards. Clock management definitely critical here if they want to get back in this game.
Absolutely agreed. They have to up the tempo in this case, down a couple of scores. Want to make sure they have a chance to win this ball game.
Hey, hey. 12. Spread left.
Now Wilson. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. And incomplete. He dropped it in the end zone.
Try and get it all back with one big shot right there, but even if successful, that doesn't get them all the way back to where they need to be. Can't totally abandon throwing the ball underneath as well.
Here now is 2nd and 10, again from the 41. One last shot for Wilson. A hit as he throws there, incomplete.
We've seen this quite a few times in this game. Offensive line unable to keep leverage, unable to keep people away, facing a lot of pressure. Fortunate just to get rid of it.
One of the reasons they're down is that inability, though, to stop the pressure. We saw another example of it there. One final shot. They'll look to throw. He's going to let it fly. And this is going to be caught. So it affects the final score, not the outcome, but it is a late touchdown here on the game's final play. Doesn't affect the outcome, but, hey, nice job there to put it in the end zone for the final play.
Could it affect other things? Sometimes these types of scores are ones that we don't consider big at the time. Then later on we find out maybe that was a tiebreaker.
Yeah.
Or, of course, in the fantasy football world, these points mean a lot.